What's up guys, I'm Deluxe Gaming here, and today we're back doing another theory, and as you can probably tell, it's on Fortnitemares, because there's some interesting lore in there, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the main question of this event is, what are the shadows, the things that you turn into when you get eliminated? Well, that's actually pretty straightforward, as when you get eliminated by one, instead of saying your username was eliminated by so-and-so, it says your soul was freed by so-and-so. That answers a question I had a long time ago of how did the simulation work? Were our bodies transferred inside of the simulation, etc, etc? Well, now we know our souls were put into the simulation. And it would make sense why Midas would be the one trying to free everyone, because he's the one who's trying to get out the simulation, if you remember from the Doomsday event. So he starts with freeing our souls, but what happens after that? But then how did he even do it? And how is he still alive? Well, unless he's an artificial intelligence, the creators of the simulation, who I'm just going to call a ghost, probably had to take him out the simulation for causing chaos into it. And I don't know, he went back to normal life, or like, he might be even the creator of the ghost, because he's the creator and owner of Ghost in the simulation. So he could also be the owner of Ghost in the real world. So he either got put in prison, went back to normal life, or it was all part of some big plan or something. So either he put himself back into the simulation because he freed himself because they had to take him out, so he could free everyone else who was still trapped in the simulation, turning them into the shadows. And since he probably, because he's part of the simulation, he probably learned it and managed to hack it, unless he's got some kind of person he's controlling who managed to put him back in the simulation. But Fortnitemares won't last forever. After all, it's just a Halloween event, so unless he leaves something behind when Fortnitemares ends, he's gonna be stopped again. But if he can return once, obviously he can do it again, but this time probably with a bit more preparation. And that's basically all that I can talk about. It's all the main plot points or the new things that Fortnitemares has introduced, but let's use that things to help us solve some stuff from the past. So a long time ago, I can't remember when this was, but I can't find the video, the Fortnite channel, the YouTube channel, uploaded of this video of this character, which I can't remember because I couldn't find it. So like, you see a bunch of locations and you see this like character faded in the background, I think laughing at it, or it seems to be some kind of villain character or some kind of the main villain. But now let's look back on it. I'm not sure if anyone remembers it, but what is the simulation doing? Let's just shift conversation to that. So I think it's training us for battle, but not against the zombies, because that was disproven by a previous theory, because zombies, I just don't want to go on about it. Zombies that serve the world, yada yada yada. Point is, with the simulation is owned by Ghost, but there's two separate different ghosts. Okay, this is gonna sound really complicated. The first ghost is the one inside of the simulation, like the one we know, the one that Midas is controlling. And the second one is the one controlling the simulation, owning it, because when we came out in the simulation in the Doomsday event, we saw the office that we were in is owned by Ghost because of the coffee mug. So it's probably training us to battle Shadow. So what the simulation is doing, what they're doing in the simulation, is putting Shadow in the simulation to try and make a more accurate retelling of Shadow, so we know what we're expecting, meaning we're getting closer to actually coming out the simulation and battling Shadow. So let's get back to this mysterious figure that I talked about in that probably deleted video. So I'm gonna try and describe him. No, I can't describe him, just try and find the video. It may have got deleted when chapter 2 came out, I'm not sure, so go try and find it. But I think this person is either the owner of Ghost or the owner of Shadow. Not in the simulation, in not like real life, but in the Fortnite real life. Yeah, this is what I mean by it getting complex. So let's briefly summarize everything we know about the real life in Fortnite, because all we've ever known is the Fortnite simulation. So my theory, my timeline, it was created to help battle Shadow, and who knows, Shadow, we could be training to fight against the zombies, and Shadow accidentally created these zombies, or deliberately to take down Ghost. So people have been put in the simulation. We're not sure if we're forced to or we were volunteers, but when we were put in the simulation, we have no memory of the real world, and we were put in this loop of this endless battle royale to train us to fight against the zombies or Shadow or whatever. And there's this, so yeah, I'm going off track here. So yeah, like, I don't know if I've made a video on this or mentioned it, but I did have a deleted video called Who is the Villain of Fortnite, and we're getting close to figuring out who the villain is, because if you were to Google it, all it would come up with is Galactus, but he's just the villain of this season, and he's not even a canon Fortnite character. He's just, well, he is, but yeah, you get what I mean though. So yeah, who is the villain? So what I'm getting at right now may not be Shadow in real life in Fortnite. Yeah, this is really getting complex, so I'm gonna try and stop. But both teams, Ghost and Shadow, both have reasoning, both have their sides, and it's really hard to tell. And we're not getting this big Midas Returns event is the biggest bit of lore we've ever gotten in a while, since Chapter 2 Season 4 hasn't had any story whatsoever, because it's a crossover rather than Fortnite's own thing. But this Midas Fortnitemares thing has saved everything, so I hope you've learned something here, and I'll probably do a part 2 because I can't get this video too long, or else it just won't let me upload it. So I'll stop now, and thanks for watching.